It's a good time to say thank you. And a good day to have a good day. Good morning, Grenada, Carrier, Kupiti, Martinic, the rest of the world.
Nothing more I want to do.
All those of you in the diaspora, those of you heading out to the celebrations on the Parkway Labor Day, please.
Oh, my child.
Please be careful.
My cry.
Reaching out and saying happy birthday to my good girl, Sylvie. How you doing? Happy birthday, Sylvie.
Hear my pride.
Sylvie turned 16 today, right? Yeah, Sylvie, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And I know JJ and Daphne and Denzo, they're going to make it exceptionally great for you, a memorable one. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, all those of you celebrating birthdays today.
Hear my pride.
It's Virgo season.
Hear my pride.
The big day is coming up the 18th. Yeah.
Well, if I had another chance to start afresh again.
Morning, Kitty Cat, Ariel, Alwyn, how'd it do? Good morning to all my online viewers.
For tomorrow.
Yulin Alexander, Mary E. Banks, Michelle Daniel, Gigi Giles,
For all you done.
Cicely Blackman, Monica Mayrose Williams,
Thank you for another day. Oh,
Wendy Williams, good morning.
please hear my prayer.
Howdy do?
Oh, Father.
Yolan Swan, good morning to you.
Oh, merciful Father. Oh, yes, I'm still alive.
Thank God.
Oh, my child. Oh, my child.
Parents, today it's Monday, right? The children have to go back to school today. So I hope you have them up early.
My prayer.
Ensure that you do your little devotion with them, pray with them, plead the blood on them. Because all kind of things happening nowadays, so you gotta send your children to school fully covered.
I know
Yeah.
powers to turn this thing.
Pastor Laurie Dominic and the First Family, good morning. The congregation of the Wester Hall New Testament Church of God, good morning.
And yes, you are.
Joanna, good morning to you. All the wonderful folks inside of Wester Hall. Corinth, good morning.
Thank you for the breath.
Everybody, good morning. Multi and content.
You provide my needs.
Beaton, good morning.
Father.
Nakita and Shirin and Azaria and everybody.
Bless my soul is fed.
Tanti,
Oh, my
Carl Pitig. Shine the thing. Nice it up, good morning.
play the music. Play it one more time.
Kensta and family, good morning. Rita Thomas, good morning to you.
Eyes onto the
All right, folks, let's head into the word of the day. And the word of the day today, it is endemic. Endemic, we heard a lot of that in recent years. Pandemic and endemic.
night say.
Now, endemic is refers to natural to or characteristic of a specific people or place.
I'll try
Also can mean native or indigenous.
to give myself this.
Endemic, E-N-D-E-M-I-C.
Oh, Father.
Here's how we can use that word
Thank you for the privilege.
in a sentence.
Oh, merciful.
The genetic trait is endemic to the local population. It was passed down through generations. So remember that. Endemic, E-N-D-E-M-I-C,
Play the music.
refers to natural or characteristic of a specific people or place.
My cry.
Aggies, good morning. Chief, good morning. Pomrose Latant, Crowshoe,
Hear my cry.
good morning to the folks inside of Cafe, Holmesy and family. Nadisha, good morning. Abigail, good morning to you.
Oh, Father.
As we head into the motivational tip of the day, the Sandersons, good morning.
Strive to walk the walk.
Debbie, good morning. Petlin, good morning. The folks inside of Munich and Mama Can.
Oh, merciful Father.
The voice behind the track, Edson Ajamu Mitchell, good morning, bro.
Father. Thank you for my family.
Yeah.
Oh, merciful Father.
Lovey, good morning to you.
To me. Oh, Father.
Naspia and the family.
That's what the future.
Zia, Tarek,
Father.
and the big girl Zanaya.
Oh, my child.
And Nadisha's thought of the day, it says, good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. You remember that from primary school? Good morning to Miss Maria Charles Viveg. I always remember she said that. Yeah, at the Tivoli RC school. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Yeah, and what is the rest again? You know, yeah. Until you, yeah, something like that. Make good, better, best, and yeah. Remember that, man. Good morning to my good classmate Karen Dunbar, Sergeant Karen Dunbar, attached to the Immigration Department. Yeah. Folks, it's 21 minutes on to the 7 o'clock. We've got the nutritional tip coming up. Stay right there with us.
Well, if I had
Follow these steps and you'll be fine. Drink lots of water.
This week's focus is alcohol, which when consumed excessively has been shown to contribute towards the development of cancers. According to Cancer.net, alcohol is classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancers as a Group 1 carcinogen. A carcinogen is any substance known to cause cancer. Carcinogens are classified in groups, and in Group 1, alcohol is placed along with other carcinogens such as asbestos, radiation, and tobacco, which are among the highest risk of cancer-causing agents in the human body. Alcohol can lead to oxidative stress in cells, which can lead to cell damage, which may increase the risk of cancer. Consuming alcohol regularly doesn't guarantee that you will develop cancer. However, this does make your risk of developing cancer higher compared to not drinking or consuming little alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption is linked to several cancers, which include cancers of the head and neck, including the mouth, throat, and voice box, breast cancer, and gastrointestinal tract cancers, which include esophageal cancer, liver cancer, and colorectal cancer, melanoma or skin cancer, prostate, and pancreatic cancer. Alcohol consumption can also affect the body's ability to absorb nutrients such as folate and affects hormone production and body weight. It is advised to stay away from consuming alcohol completely, but if you wish to indulge, do so with moderation. For example, one should consume 1 to 2 servings for men and 1 serving for women of a standard alcoholic beverage such as 5 ounces of red wine and 12 ounces of beer or 1 ounce of liquor. Until next time, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council reminds you to look, eat, and feel well.
Rolls ring a bell? Yes, they keep the body working.
Yeah, so please pay particular attention. Cancer is a killer. Yeah, so all those of you who, you know, indulge in too much alcohol, please stop.
the Lord has made. So let us
Right, Aggies? And Cruz and Peck are the guys.
give my pride.
It's 18 minutes until we've got some people celebrating birthdays today. All right, happy birthday to David White, Uncle David White. He's now in Grenada. May God continue to bless and keep you always. Love from Kadisha Pascal, Mariska, and your sister Bernadette. Happy birthday to you, Joel Roberts. May God continue to bless and keep you always from your god sister Marissa Pascal and Kadisha. Okay. All right. Right. Petlin is coming up too. Petlin is on the 19th, mine the 18th. Okay, so we're going to have a birthday party. Mildred Smith, good morning to you and Shem.
Thank you for
How do you do?
sacrifice. Oh,
The lady of the morning, Miss Valerie Foray. Good morning to you and the entire household. Sharon Bartholomew is there. Good morning. Cynthia Macmillan says, good morning, Innocent Joseph from New Jersey in the USA. Nice. Good. Folks, let's see what's buzzing this morning. What's buzzing this morning? All right. We expect some gusty winds and rainfall. That's possible over parts of the Lesser Antilles today.
I know you got
And of course, Hollis Mop, Mr. Killer, wins Soca Performer of the Year at the Caribbean Music Awards.
that my God.
In the region, a second cannabis seizure at Antigua's airport in a month. Internationally, 2 people attacked during London's Notting Hill Carnival have died.
Oh, merciful Father.
And in sports, Caribbean Premier League franchise St. Lucia Kings unveil a new team jersey for the 2024 edition.
Oh, merciful Father.
These and so much more after or during the morning edition of News, Sports and the Weather.
Oh,
This morning I will be talking with two representatives from the RGPF as we get our children and the parents and the motoring public and everybody, in the heads that school is back and we ought to be protecting our nation's children. So I will be having someone from CRD and someone from traffic talking. A lot of people have concerns about that, that road issue. I think that's Green Street. Yeah. There are some suggestions. We'll throw them out. Nonetheless, folks, it's time for us to head on to the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. Don't you go anywhere.
As we get ready to give thanks, the long Thanksgiving weekend. Legends Promotions presents the 18th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, October 26th, Grenada Trade Center at 7:30 p.m. Featuring the 1980 Calypso Monarch Survivor. Together with Stubbles. 10 times Calypso Monarch Scholar. Alongside Luther, Tobago Kuso, and 7 times Soca and 10 times Road March King, Super Blue. Super Blue. Tickets cost $16 and are available at all Gittins Healthcare Pharmacies, Wall Street, Grenville, and Gual, Springs Shopping Center, St. David's Pharmacy, Clear Vision Eye Care Center, on the Carinage, and Gittins Pharmacy, St. George's. It's the 18th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, October 26th, Thanksgiving weekend, Grenada Trade Center, 7:30 p.m. You can't afford to miss this one.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sun Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional.
All right, this is the GBN Morning News for today, Monday, September 2nd, 2024. Coming up in the news, gusty winds, rainfall possible over parts of the Lesser Antilles as a tropical wave approaches. Mr. Killer wins Soca Performer of the Year at the Caribbean Music Awards. In the region's second cannabis seizure at Antigua's airport in a month. Internationally, 2 people attacked during London's Notting Hill Carnival have died. And in sports, Caribbean Premier League franchise St. Lucia Kings unveil a new team jersey for the 2024 edition. We've got the details to this and more after these messages.
Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department or participating outlets for a chance to win free fuel, free drinks, free prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free Hub TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free Dutch Lady milk, free passes to Sunshine promotion events for 2024, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a free lunch package. But that's not all. Drive away in style in a brand new Isuzu D-Max. It sips, it doesn't guzzle. So fill out your entries and place them into the marked entry boxes. This promotion is brought to you in part by Dutch Lady, Danny, Promo, Supreme Bleach, Creative Chef, Grenlac, Floor, Salt Petroleum, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Sunshine Promotion, Caribberies, Coop Bag, Sesame Spain, and Food Fear. Promotion runs from April 2nd to December 24. Terms and conditions apply.
Good morning. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. Forecasters continue to monitor 3 tropical waves in the Atlantic Basin. The U.S. National Hurricane Center, the NHC, in an update on Sunday on the disturbance near the Lesser Antilles and Caribbean Sea, said shower activity associated with a tropical wave located several hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles has changed little in organization since Saturday. Some slow development is possible as the disturbance moves westward and reaches the Lesser Antilles on Monday. The wave is expected to move across the central and western Caribbean Sea later this week, where conditions are forecast to become more conducive for some development and a tropical depression could form during that time. Regardless of development, the system could result in some gusty winds and locally heavy rainfall over portions of the Lesser Antilles on Monday. As part of a strategy to strengthen trade, commerce, and tourism ties, the local private sector commission, the PSC in Guyana, and the Grenada Tourism Authority on Thursday hosted an expo showcasing a range of items from spices to technological innovations. The Pure Grenada Expo, which was open to the public at the Guyana Marriott Hotel in Georgetown, highlighted the Spice Isles' cultural heritage, spices and tourism offerings, featuring rum and chocolate tasting, and a cultural display along with exhibits. Still on the local scene, applications for Chevening scholarships to study in the UK are open until November 5th, 2024. Prospective candidates can submit the applications via Chevening, that's chevening.org/apply. Chevening scholarships are awarded to individuals from diverse backgrounds who can demonstrate the commitment and skills needed to become future leaders. Applicants must have a realistic, achievable idea to create positive change in their country and be able to demonstrate how a UK master's degree will help them bring the idea to life. This scholarship offers full financial support for scholars to pursue any eligible master's degree at over 150 UK universities, along with access to a wide range of exclusive academic, professional, and cultural experiences. For a second year in a row, Grenada's Hollis Mapp, whose stage name is Mr. Killer, has won the award for Performer of the Year at the Soca category at the just concluded 2024 Caribbean Music Awards. Mr. Killer is known for his electrifying and energetic stage performances that keep fans coming back for more. The Grenadian soca star and entertainer performed at the 2024 Caribbean Music Award on August 29th at King's Theatre, Brooklyn, New York, where he not only showed off his dancing skills, but a new look. The 2024 Caribbean Music Awards recently published a list of all the winners and issued congratulations to all who participated in this year's show. The Caribbean Music Award is a platform to recognize, honor, and celebrate Caribbean talent who have made significant contributions to the enhancement of our music and the development of our rich and diverse culture. That brings us to the end of the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional roundup and international developments, along with the sports and the weather, they are forthcoming. It's 7 minutes on to 7 o'clock. At this time, we join the Caribbean News Desk for this morning's edition of the Regional Roundup.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Dennis Chabrol.
And I'm Kendall Morgan with the latest from across the Caribbean.
Schools in the three countries most affected by the recent passage of Hurricane Beryl will not be ready for today's official start of the new school year. Grenada, whose sister isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique were devastated by Beryl, is still grappling with having schools still operating as shelters for the homeless. Education Minister David Andrews.
So we envisage in the first instance a further 2-week delay, within which period we will carefully monitor and analyze the progress which is steadily being made, and we will advise subsequently of a more definitive date for reopening.
Meanwhile, education authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines said there will be a phased opening of the country's schools. Repairs are continuing throughout the country, particularly on the Grenadine islands of Mairo, Canouan and Union Island, which suffered almost total devastation. The Education Minister is Curtis King.
In this first week, there will be 56 of our 67 primary schools that will be open for face-to-face instruction. 18 secondary schools of the 27 will be open during this first week.
And in Jamaica, where 362 of the just over 1,000 primary and high schools suffered varying degrees of damage, the Education Ministry created 3 priority groups to ensure most schools will be ready for today. Education Minister Fayval Williams says they're undertaking a phased approach to the repairs.
Priority 1 would be the severely damaged schools, 107 of those, and we know we definitely had to do the work to get those fixed in order for them to be up and ready. Priority 2 schools are schools that are moderately damaged, can be fixed while schools are in session, and priority 3, minor damage, 116, they can open come September 2nd, and during the school year we attend to the damage.
In Guyana, law enforcement agents have seized almost $200 million worth of cocaine buried in pits. Head of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, James Singh, says the drugs were found near an illegal airstrip about 20 miles from Matthews Ridge in northwestern Guyana. He says no one has been arrested. Mr. Singh says the cocaine was hidden in several pits and covered with wood and other material as a form of camouflage. The anti-drugs chief says the cocaine was being moved to the area over the past 3 weeks. The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit says the operation was driven by intelligence regarding illegal flights into Guyana and was supported by information shared with the United States Drug Enforcement Agency and other international partners.
Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown is hoping his direct engagement with the country's youth gangs will lead to a gang truce and an end to the deadly criminal violence. The Prime Minister is due to meet this week with the well-known Grays Farm gang after what he calls a constructive engagement last Thursday with more than 30 members of another gang called the Two Drilly Crew.
We have made a number of interventions. So, for example, and we promised them probably up to about 10 to a dozen jobs. Those who already dropped out of school, we have to find something for them to do. Those are in school, we're going to engage them. So they say they want to do a hydroponics facility. They came up with the idea of having some layers. And right here at the ICT Center, we have a commercial oven, so they can also make bread. So we're putting a program together very shortly, very quickly, so that we can engage them as soon as possible. But the critical issue right now is to have a gang truce.
Barbados is again turning to Ghana for more nurses. Prime Minister Mia Mottley made the announcement at a constituency nomination meeting for Barbados Labour Party.
We know that we are short on nurses, and in fact, Cabinet agreed on Thursday that a team of 6 will go to Ghana yet again to be able to allow us to bring in 112 nurses from there. But I have agreed also to create in the nursing department 142 registered nurses alone, 71 this year and 71 next year, filling existing vacancies, but we are also increasing the number of posts to be able to make sure that we can have better nursing ratios.
Ghana has been supplying nurses to Barbados since 2019 based on an agreement between the two countries.
Jamaica, the British Virgin Islands, and Barbados were the medal winners for the English-speaking Caribbean in the World Athletics Under-20 Championships, which ended yesterday in Peru. Jamaica won 5 medals with 4 gold and 1 bronze. The BVI won 2, a gold and a bronze, and Barbados won a bronze. The highlight for the Caribbean was Jamaica's dominance of both the boys and girls sprint relays. This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp on +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
And in more regional news, a second batch of drugs has been discovered at Antigua's airport in less than a month. On Friday, a joint drug operation between customs and police at the V.C. Bird International Airport resulted in the seizure of 10 pounds of cannabis with an estimated street value of 60,000 EC dollars. 9 vacuum-sealed packages of the controlled substance were found inside a cardboard box during a search of a storage room. This recent seizure follows a similar incident earlier this month where officials confiscated approximately 2 pounds of cannabis valued at EC $12,000. It also led to the discovery of vacuum-sealed packages of cannabis concealed in a cardboard box at the cargo shed. Both operations were conducted jointly by customs and police officials. And the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement announced on Friday that it has continued its removal operations, conducting flights to deport single adults and family units to Cuba and Jamaica. These operations, carried out between August 26th and 30th, were executed in close coordination with other Department of Homeland Security agencies, including U.S. Customs and Border Protection. These removal flights also included nationals from several other countries, such as Brazil, Cameroon, various Central American nations, Colombia, Ecuador, Liberia, and Mexico. Further afield, 2 people who were critically injured in attacks while attending London's Notting Hill Carnival earlier this week have died, police said on Saturday. The Metropolitan Police Force said 32-year-old Cher Maximen died early Saturday after being stabbed in the street on August 25th. She had been visiting the carnival, billed as Europe's biggest street party, with her child, who was not hurt. A 20-year-old local man was arrested and charged with attempted murder and is now likely to face a murder charge. Police also announced the death of Musi Imetu, a 41-year-old who was found unconscious in a West London street with a head injury on Monday night. The chef had been visiting Britain from his home in Dubai. A 31-year-old London man has been charged with causing grievous bodily harm, and police said the charge would be reviewed after Imetu's death. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Sporting fans, good morning. As the Caribbean Premier League, that's the CPL 2024, kicked off on Friday, the St. Lucia Kings unveiled their new jersey for the ongoing season. The Kings will begin their campaign on September 2nd. That's today, and it's against the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. The players will don their new jersey to showcase their dynamic colors for the season. With T10 as St. Kitts partners for the 2020 edition, the new jersey has been designed with intricate details and materials intended for player comfort. The jersey's colors reflect the St. Lucian flag and showcase the fire within the players to win their first championship. The head coach of the St. Lucia Kings, Darren Sammy, said that the team is motivated to display a stunning performance in the upcoming Korean Premier League. St. Lucia Kings are yet to win the title, but have reached the final twice over the last 3 years. Last season, the franchise reached the playoff stage, but went down to Jamaica Talawas in the eliminator. That's the sports. Stay with us. The weather forecast is up next. And folks, for the latest weather forecast, we now join forecaster at the Met Office of the MBIA, Jonathan Johnny Price. Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning to you and good morning, listeners. Here is the weather for today, Monday the 2nd of September 2024, as recorded at the Mars Bishop International Airport. It is currently cloudy with light showers. The winds are coming from the east at 7 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is 10-12 millibars, which is below normal and rising. Present temperature is 27.1 degrees Celsius and relative humidity 89%. Yesterday's maximum was 32.2 degrees Celsius and the minimum last night 26 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 1.8 millimeters of rainfall was recorded, which brings the total for the month so far to 1.8 millimeters. And now for the public forecast for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique Valley for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be cloudy with light to moderate showers, which may become heavy at times with possible isolated thunder. Hence, there is a warning for a low chance of flash flood in areas so prone. Today's maximum will be 31.5 degrees Celsius with winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. Tides will be low at 10 a.m. and high at 4 p.m. Sunset will be at 6:17 and sunrise at 5:56. Just repeat the public forecast valid for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be cloudy with light to moderate showers, which may become heavy at times with possible isolated thunder. And once again, there is a warning for a low chance of flash flooding in areas so prone. From the forecasters, Mars Bishop International Airport, I'm Jonathan Price. Have a great day.
Jonathan, just before you run off, in the news I read that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring 2 areas of disturbance that is coming towards the Lesser Antilles. And from your forecasting desk, how does that look?
There is 2 areas of interest currently. The first one is currently on us at this point, 60 degrees west. That's the strong tropical wave that's been affecting the island chain from as far north as the central windwards down to Trinidad. They've been reporting various periods of scattered showers, some heavy and isolated thunderstorms. We got a little bit spared last night, but we're still looking at chances of that today. The other area of interest is currently out of the zone of interest. It's closer to maybe 17, 18 degrees west right now. That's basically off the coast of Africa.
Okay.
In between that, there's a tropical wave at 37 degrees west as well. But again, that's still out of the area of interest. Both areas are looking at a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. But over the next 48 hours, the tropical wave that's on us is looking at a 0% chance of development, and the second area of interest is looking at a 10% chance of development over the next 48 hours.
Okay. And the one that is on us now in the not too distant future, I guess it would move into the Caribbean Sea, right?
Yeah, it's currently crossing the island chain, so it will move into the Caribbean Sea where it would possibly have an increased chance of development, but that's when it reaches the central Caribbean Sea.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. Have yourself a great day now.
You too.
Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited. It's 8 minutes after 7 o'clock to end the news. A recap of the headlines. As you just heard from Jonathan, we're expecting some gusty winds and rainfall over parts of the Lesser Antilles. That wave is currently on us. It should dissipate into the Caribbean Sea. As it goes into the Caribbean Sea, hopefully it will dissipate and have no negative impact on us. Also locally, we heard that Hollis Mr. Killer Mop, he has won the Soca Performer of the Year award in the just concluded Caribbean Music Awards. In the region's second cannabis seizure at the Antigua's VC Bird International Airport in a month. Internationally, 2 people who were attacked during London's Notting Hill Carnival, they have died. And in sports, Caribbean Premier League franchise St. Lucia Kings, they unveil their new jerseys for the 2024 edition. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Monday, 2nd September 2024. On behalf of the entire news department, I am Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
GRENDEC Community Partnership Initiative.
On behalf of Netball Grenada, we want to say a special thank you for the contribution made. We are certain that the contribution that had been given would be put into good use and we would bring home great results.
GRENDEC, energizing our community.
All right, good morning, viewers and listeners. Welcome to the conversation this morning. And as promised, I've got two members of the RGPF with me this morning. This morning is a very significant morning in the fact that school reopens today. So we, that's a buzz. And I thought it fit. I want to say good morning to, is he a ACP or Inspector Douglas? ASP Douglas, that impromptu call yesterday. I said, listen, I need two people on my program this morning. And he said, okay, I'll find that. And he found it two wonderful people. To my immediate right is WPC 73 Toussaint. And the big man at the end, Corporal Troy Paul. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Right.
Good morning to your listeners and viewers. And a special good morning to the parents, guardians, and students getting prepared for school, the new academic year, or on their way to the school compound. Good morning.
Good, nice. She's very articulate.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And Corporal Troy Paul, representing the traffic department. Good morning again. I am a forward thinker, and yesterday I was just thinking, okay, tomorrow the program. School reopens. Maybe we should talk some, protection for children and also traffic arrangement especially in the city. So I just made the call. I called my manager. I said, listen, this is what I have in mind. She said, okay, go ahead. And I called my good friend, Mr. Douglas, and he said, I'll find you two people. And here we are. I want us to start off firstly with traffic because that is a major concern. All right, we'll talk to the children and the parents and the drivers and so forth and all the other things as it relates to the school life subsequently. But traffic, how does the traffic department intend to deal with that influx of traffic that's going to be, especially in the city today, St. George's?
Yes, so good morning, Mr. Joseph, and to all your listeners via the who's listening and also viewing. This morning, I will speak a little on traffic this morning as it relates to children, their safety, using the road, and also drivers. We want to admonish them to be extra vigilant this morning as they use the road network. And remember, the little ones are there, so we want them to show that or to drive with that extra care and caution as we anticipate the excitement of that new school season, the reopening.
Okay.
So to start with, we know it's going to be a challenge. We know from all the years back that we've seen the influx of vehicular traffic, especially on the first day and week of the school reopening season. And this morning, if we have already seen that level of volume of traffic along the road network. And me coming to the station, I've already seen vehicles already, because what drivers anticipate. Remember that traffic congestion, so a lot of Juju drivers want to beat that traffic rush instead of having to leave my regular time that I normally leave home and have to wait in that traffic and get stuck. Because remember, every parent, especially if they're first timer to school, every parents want that excitement or that prestige of dropping their child to school and ensuring, yes please, whether it's primary school, secondary school, I have to drop my child to school and take a few pictures in the process.
Of course. I post it up on social media.
It's a trend.
Strange. Nothing is private and personal anymore. Everything goes out there.
And with that, this builds traffic congestion, because remember, parents want to make sure that I drop my child to school safely, so they will do whatever is necessary. Sometimes they might take their time to park the vehicle. Sometimes they park in different areas that may contribute to traffic congestion as well, just to make sure that the child is taken to school safely for the first day, first week, and even by extension there are some other weeks that keep added to that congestions as well. So therefore, it means that the traffic department have a responsibility to make sure that we deal adequately with these issues that we're about to face, especially this morning. And you'll see a number of officers deployed this morning to ensure that we have some easement. We cannot control the traffic congestion, but we will try to assist in areas where it is necessary, so that we can have some easement in the traffic, so that you will feel a sense of movement in the traffic this morning and you will not be stagnant.
I can't deal with that traffic congestion. I really can't. It peeves me when the traffic moving at a snail's pace.
Yes.
So I wish there was a way that we could have insist that the traffic flows as normal, but again, this is a special occasion, so we expect that sort of congestion.
Yes,
of course.
And what we want drivers especially to please be patient, and also for the drivers who are dropping off their child or children, let's be considerate as well. We know you're excited, we know the excitement of first day back to school, but we must take into consideration the influx of vehicular traffic movement within especially the town of St. George's, and we must be mindful that we have to control it, and we must be cognizant of the fact that your action can contribute to that traffic significantly. And if you don't be responsible and do what you have to, and do it, you come to drop your child, let's do that in a quick, smooth manner, so that at the end of the day the traffic will flow in a nice sequential manner, so that persons can get to work and so forth on time.
Right. As it relates to regulations and so forth, one of the concerns that I personally have had is the fact that we're seeing a lot of pedestrian crossing that are not properly painted. They've faded away, and what the ordinary folks would call the sleeping police, we call them speed bumps. Some of them are not they're not marked properly, illuminated, and so forth. Have the traffic department taken those things into consideration as well?
Yes, and most definitely the traffic department, once the carnival had ended, we embarked on the road sign painting initiative, where we started with the pedestrian crossing, more so for in the school zone areas, especially where school children use that pedestrian crossing, because what we want to employ is that road safety at all times, especially with our children. And as I stated, we have a number of first-timers to those schools, and what we want to promote is them letting them know how to properly use the road network, especially if there is a pedestrian crossing in the area. What we do not want is the misuse of the pedestrian crossings, and once we teach our children how to properly use that pedestrian crossing, we'll definitely see an easement in terms of vehicular accidents with children, traffic congestion, because the pedestrian crossing is misused, it definitely will cause a build-up in traffic.
And to be honest with you, just to interject here, sometimes I don't know if you're old enough to remember the good old days of Paulkins Douglas, that comedian.
Yes.
And he said that some pedestrians have the habit of crossing the road in such a way that they say, well, bounce me now.
Of course.
Because they think that because it's a pedestrian crossing, as a pedestrian you have all the right, and they don't understand the protocol involved in using a pedestrian crossing, where you indicate to the oncoming driver that you intend to cross, and then the driver indicate to you that you can cross.
Of course. And just to backtrack a bit, and definitely and I agree with what you said, and we'll dive a little more into the use of the pedestrian crossing as we get into the program. But to answer the question, the traffic department, we've done a lot of the sign paintings. There's still a lot to be desired in terms of the general road markings and so on, but we've already started, especially in the school zones area. And if you're traversing along most of our roads, you will see that extra white paint that in the area of those pedestrian crossing, because we want children, and we put children's safety first in everything that we do.
Important. Let's not have Miss Toussaint feel left out of the conversation. She might be saying that, wow, it's a man's world, so we have to bring her into the conversation.
Of course.
Miss Toussaint, WPC 73 Toussaint, young, energetic, and seem very resourceful. You coming from the community relations department, from that department, what can you share with the public, especially on the significant day, the first school day of the new school year?
All right, so Mr. Joseph, I believe that everything starts at home, getting prepared, the planning, it all starts with the parents. And we want to encourage the parents to have a talk with your children. Talk to them about the negatives of keeping the wrong friends or keeping bad company. Speak to them with regards to attending classes. Sometimes persons, when they go to school, they think, all right, especially after coming out from the summer period, they somewhat have that, relaxed mentality. Yeah. It's hard at times to adjust or come back to the reality of school days. So sometimes you might want to loiter, you want to speak to them about the importance of attending classes and being able to obtain a proper education. We also want to encourage our parents to speak to them about refraining from violent acts and behaviors. From time to time, the RGPF may be called upon to intervene in school matters as it relates to bad behaviors. So we want to have that talk with them before stepping out. Even conducting checks, inspecting their bags. That's before leaving home and upon returning. We want to ensure that they don't have anything that can harm themselves or even others, whether it be immediate or long term. So, for example, checking for any drugs or alcohol, ensuring that they do not have in their possession any offensive weapons or anything that can be altered. So, for example, screwdrivers or knives. You know that your son or your daughter is not in the food and nutrition class. They shouldn't have any knives.
And they're not butchers.
Neither are they butchers.
Yeah.
Similarly, that they're not in the electrical class or doing plumbing, so they shouldn't have a screwdriver in their possession. So conducting checks, it also shows them that you're interested, and that creates a safety net. It protects them. It gives them that psychological support needed to be able to go through the new academic year.
Okay, all right. And it's important, it's in the spiritual realm. We talked about confirmation, because even before you came, I was saying this morning the importance of parents praying with their children before they leave home.
Yes.
covering them, because the world is not as it used to be, and it's getting worse by the day. So parents, it's important that you take that parental role, and understanding the fact that as a parent, you're not just supposed to provide the physical things of life for the children, but also their spiritual growth and development as well.
Absolutely, Mr. Joseph. Even adding to that, you want to also be in the know as to who their friends are. In the event that they happen to not come home, you can call Jane or you can call Suzanne, just to find out, hey, is Salian there? Is Bob there? I'm just trying to reach out, because sometimes what happens is that as friends, we tend to want to accompany our friends home, so we tend to walk them home
and then walk back home for yourself. Yeah, too friendly. Yeah, you're too friendly.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even sometimes you might stay back because in certain school areas you may be at a disadvantage, so you decide to stay back with a few friends just to have dialogue or conversations to enhance your learning, or even to have a one-on-one conversation with a teacher because there's something that's affecting you, and mommy may not know. I know in certain schools that the phones are prohibited, so some persons may not come to school with their phones, and as a result the parents may not be able to have access. So it's important that the parents be in the know, find out whether or not their child have any homework, find out how their day went. It definitely creates an atmosphere for wanting to learn, wanting to be able to have a good relationship with the parents, and again that creates that safety net for them.
Continuing on that line, right, in the day and age in which we live, we're seeing a proliferation of illegal substances being pushed and peddled by children, school children. In some cases, they are being used as mules.
Right.
All right, and it's entering the schools. From the RGPF standpoint, do you ever so often make impromptu visits to schools and, have chats, conversations, and sometimes even search? Do you all do that?
Absolutely, Mr. Joseph. In fact, as we speak, the department, it has been engaged in the campaign against violence, whereby we have been going out into the communities. It started during the summer period, so we got to speak to a few youths on the blocks. But with the opening of school, we are looking forward to having that one-on-one conversation with persons, whether it be at assemblies or whether it be based on the forms. We are looking forward to that. But even prior to the campaign against violence, we have been doing presentations as it relates to conflict resolutions and drug use and avoidance. It has been done, and we are looking forward to the continued support of the other stakeholders, such as the teachers, the Lions Club, and so forth, as it relates to curbing, or in fact trying to go to that road of eradicating violence and substance abuse within our youths, with the youths.
Right. Okay. All right. So now Mr. Paul is looking at us as well. My hair too, So we're going back.
I'm just listening to her speak.
She can speak.
Yes,
she can speak.
Thank you.
And you know what I noticed when she was talking about as friends dropping one home and then having to walk back, she was smiling a bit because she seems as though she just came from that environment herself. So she's talking from, it was coming from the horse's mouth. Corporal Paul, one of the major concerns that has been echoing for a while is that piece of road on the Green Street area, where is Green Street? I hope I have it right. Yeah. Going down that's H.A. Street.
Yes, Green Street, and
right,
back to H.A.
Right, and the diversion of the traffic going up that where CID building is at.
Green Street.
That is Green Street. Yes.
Oh, yeah, the one is H.A. Street.
Lovely. I'm learning this morning. Yes. I am a country boy. May I know tongue. Right. A lot of concerns have been raised as it relates to the traffic flow in that area. And it will be compounded from this morning with that additional influx of people, children, and so forth. And as a matter of fact, someone was suggesting, why not make the carnage a two-way street? Has that thought ever crossed the traffic department's mind?
Ever so often, in relation to that suggestion. But that is have to be left up to the ministry and along with the bigger
the people in that
people in that
pay category, yeah.
And definitely it has to be looked in, and we cannot just rush into something. I remember they have to look at all aspects in relation to the changing and converting of the traffic before making that decision. But however, that has been suggested for many years ago, and still with the issue of the H.A. Street being closed after vehicular traffic, that has again raised its head. But however, it has been looked into, and the authorities will make the necessary decisions once it becomes necessary. But as we stated, in relation to traffic coming in that area, we expect it to be heavy. Persons having to maneuver, especially coming down to Baines Alley, that portion of area going back down to H.A. Street, we have seen a number of vehicular accidents right in that intersection between Green Street and Baines Alley. We want to urge drivers to be extra careful when making that right turn. If you approach it too early, what will have vehicles off balancing where a portion of your wheels will be in the air, and drivers tend to accelerate and then causing an accident in the process.
I know of one driver that she says she is scary. It seems like the vehicle is going to overturn when you're making that right turn down the hill to go down like by Kim George and Associates.
Yes.
That hill there. And indeed, and in fact, one of the wheels do stay up. It does stay off the road for a brief moment.
Yes.
And if you're not experienced enough as a driver, you can panic and do foolishness.
Of course. So as I stated, we want to urge drivers to be extra careful. Do not take that corner too early. Open up and make that maneuver. Take your time, make that maneuver, and then you continue along your journey safely. Do not panic as well. If you observe, simply reverse and approach that corner in a more considerate manner.
From the although it might not be right up the alley of the traffic department, but maybe you might have an idea. How long do you think that H.A. Blaze Road will be out of commission?
What I can safely say is that work is undergoing in that H.A. Blaze Street area, and I cannot give a definite answer as to the ministry. Will be in a better position to give you that time frame when they'll be able to finish that project and make sure that the road is safe and passable for vehicular traffic. Okay. But for now, I cannot speak as to that.
It's a little above your pay grade.
I wouldn't say above my pay grade, but it is not in my domain.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, he has a future in politics too. Yeah, political talks. I hinted something earlier as to the proper way to use a pedestrian crossing, but from the police standpoint, I want you to echo that sentiment right from the traffic department. How exactly should a pedestrian use a pedestrian crossing?
Yes. So we've often seen the misuse of pedestrian crossing at times, and it aches me even from parents and adults using the pedestrian crossing and the misuse of that pedestrian crossing. And this morning I just want to continue to repeat and to demonstrate a little, to speak about how to properly use the pedestrian crossing. And the first thing as a pedestrian, when you enter into a pedestrian crossing zone, if you have to cross from one side of the road to another, the first thing you do is you stop.
As a pedestrian?
Yes, you stop. Whether or not vehicle is coming or no vehicle is coming, you stop. And the reason for you stopping is to ensure that you, the pedestrian, observe your surroundings and ensure that no vehicle is coming. Because sometimes in your immediate vicinity, nothing is coming, but if you also listen while you're there, so you're looking, because when I go to the schools, I like to be very vivid with them. So you want to look for oncoming vehicles And you also listen, because sometimes you do not see, but you can hear the sound of a vehicle, the revving sound of even if your vehicle is speeding to your direction. Because remember, your safety is important. So you look and you listen. If nothing is coming, you cross briskly from one side to the other. You get to your destination.
And sometimes you find pedestrian abusing that privilege of using the pedestrian crossing, of loitering.
Loitering is one.
Slowing, having conversations on the pedestrian crossing.
So we will get to that after. So let us get to how we use the pedestrian. So if a vehicle is coming, or you hear the sound of a vehicle coming, you stand, you wait, and you assess. So a vehicle is coming and it's not directly in that pedestrian, that white line you run across the road, which we call a stop line. You put your hand out, indicating to the driver that I intend to cross. Make eye contact. Once that driver sees you and he knows that you intend to cross, you make sure that vehicle has come to a complete stop. And that is very, very important. Make sure that vehicle come to a complete stop. Once you satisfy yourself that that vehicle come to a complete stop, you cross briskly from one side to the other side. However, if that vehicle has already passed that white line, the stop line that we have, you, the pedestrian, must wait. Ensure that vehicle cross, and then the process continue again. Make sure that whatever oncoming vehicle sees you, and you make eye contact. Make sure the vehicle come to a complete stop, and you cross briskly. I often tell people your safety is important, and what we're seeing is that because it's a pedestrian crossing, pedestrians think it's thing that I can cross at any given time, at any particular manner. Just step into the pedestrian crossing. But remember, sometimes the driver didn't see you.
Yeah.
They may have a mechanical failure.
Brakes does
What
fail.
if?
Yeah,
Yes.
brakes will.
We have to look at all these things. And sometimes the visibility of the surrounding, because there's a lot of things, and we're seeing also as well. I just want to implore on drivers, do not park in the area of pedestrian crossing. It takes away that visibility from the both drivers and pedestrian, because remember, what I have learned that sometimes we as pedestrians might think a vehicle sees us, but the reality is that, because remember, a driver have a vantage point, and sometimes if you're blocking that view, the pedestrians, you may be able to see the driver or see that vehicle coming, but the driver may not be able to see you if a vehicle is parked in those areas. So you want persons do not park in the area of pedestrian crossing. And you spoke of loitering. Persons loitering, especially in the area of pedestrian crossing, that is a no-no. We want, because when you're in that area, a driver approaching, because most of the time when they go for their license, that is what has been taught, that anytime you see somebody in the area of a pedestrian crossing, you slow down and you stop in the event that they have to cross. And that is what's supposed to happen. But these things do not happen all the time. And so persons loitering in the area of pedestrian crossing, that can confuse a driver. Imagine a driver stop for you to cross and you tell him, no, I'm not crossing.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yes, and if every driver take that approach, we know that can also cause traffic congestion. Okay. So if you do not, or you have no intention of crossing, move away from the area of the pedestrian crossing zone.
Okay.
So that it wouldn't confuse drivers. And more so, also, if persons are crossing and there's no pedestrian crossing in that area, but you have to cross or you must cross, your safety is important again. So you must stop, look, listen, as I've explained, using the pedestrian crossing. Avoid crossing in areas where it is too close to a corner or an intersection. And cross in areas where visibility is very good, so that you can see the vehicle and the driver driving that vehicle can see you from a distance.
Okay.
Be mindful of that.
All right.
And no vehicle is coming, you cross briskly. The same thing applies if a vehicle is coming, you put your hand out, indicating, make sure that a vehicle has come to a complete stop. Once that vehicle comes to a complete stop, you cross briskly from one side. Yeah. Do not jot out into the road, because remember, sometimes estimating the speed of a vehicle when it's coming to you might be very difficult.
Yeah. And not only that, but in terms of ensuring your personal safety, it's important that you as that individual, that pedestrian, ensure that that vehicle the driver has seen you and the vehicle has come to a complete stop. Definitely. Because you cannot anticipate that brake is working.
Of course.
You understand? So it's better to be safe than sorry. Something that will be very, it is already very visible. And to be honest, as a past teacher myself, it annoys me, it peeves me when I see school children, loitering around town on afternoons, especially in the bus terminus. On a number of occasions, I've passed school children in very compromising positions, and I'm annoyed. You know, there were occasions where I spoke to a police officer and said, listen, walk that back street and you'd see something. Tell me if you're comfortable with it. You understand? From the CRD's standpoint, are you going to do some things about that? The school children loitering around town after school. We know, taking into consideration that some children do have a reason for being late. They might have SBAs, they might have errands to run, and so forth. But general loitering, what can we do about this?
Right. So, Mr. Joseph, we want to appeal to all students to avoid loitering and dangerous areas, as you just mentioned, compromising areas. Now, this is not just limited to the corridors, empty classes in the school, the outskirts of the compounds, close to the pedestrian crossings, but in public places in general. Now, according to the Chapter 72A of the Criminal Code, it speaks to idle and disorderly persons loitering and refusing or when required, refusing to leave there from, or when required, or asked or called upon by an officer. It is an illegal activity. It is an offense, and it is something that whereby persons can be fined, and that's a fine not exceeding $100. Now, as it relates to what we're doing together, RGPF, not just CRD, but RGPF, we are embarking on having a lot of town patrols, a lot of officers coming within the area to have persons leave that specific location. We're also appealing to business owners and parents alike, speak to your children as relates to that. For business owners, if you notice that there is a gathering, especially at the front of your compound, call us, give us a call, let us know so that we can send officers out to assist with that, because it's a detriment to them in the sense that whenever there's large crowds and gatherings, it can lead or it can incite unwanted behaviors, and it's definitely not appealing when you see persons especially students in their uniform at police stations sitting awaiting CPA or parents because of being brought in for illegal activities or wrongdoing. So we're urging all persons, be the children's keeper, the neighbors, persons in town, business owners. Look out for the students and look out for the children. Send them home.
That was a good thing. It sounded good, but those days are gone. Parenting has become such a selfish kind of thing nowadays. Yes. No longer the degradation in society now has it that way, because I cannot discipline your child for you to be happy. No. Who tell you to talk to my child like that? I don't talk to my child like this. And so you find people have this sort of standoff approach. Me, Papa, me interfering in people's children. But it really hurts me. Sometimes I wonder, when you look at the size, you can't judge the age, but the size, the height of these children, and you see after 5 they lean up on a building, and I'm like, what's going on here? You know, so parents have a very critical role to play in that as well.
Yes.
You need to set boundaries.
Absolutely.
Of course.
You have to be home by school overs at 2:30. You have to be home based on where you're located. You have to be home by X time or Y time, and if you're late, you need to give me a valid reason why.
Of course.
But it's like a free for all. Someone asked a question here via Facebook. Ask the police. Let me see, where is it? Okay. Right. It was to ask the police about vehicles being left on roadsides. One of the mention was a vehicle that was left in Grenada, you know, for over 8 days just on the road. And I have made mention of that recently too. There was an accident that occurred in the Pedmota area, and for days one of the vehicles, it was in a compromising position, a position that was prone to create accident, but it was left there for over 3-4 days, and I'm like, what are they waiting for? Another accident to happen yet? Throw it away. You know, so I know I raised the point that we had this removal of derelict vehicles.
Yes.
That was on, but like everything else, it's hot and then it gets cold. You know, from the traffic department, are you really working on getting? There's a vehicle that was in a particular place in town for years, I find. And eventually I see like something bounce it out. I ain't saying way because I have to be careful. You understand what I'm saying? But from the traffic department's standpoint, are you all keeping a hawk eye on these things?
Yes. From the traffic department standpoint, yes, we're looking at the issue of those vehicles parking in areas, especially those that are causing or likely to cause obstruction. I myself has begun work in some of the areas, started with the Green Street areas. You know that there were a number of derelict vehicles, or vehicles that were just parked in those areas for quite a number of time and has not been moved. So I have the traffic department, which I personally, as we have since tagged a number of those vehicles, and we have spoken to some of the vehicle owners as it relates to where those vehicles are parked, and if they do not remove them within a certain time, that we will definitely remove them, and to a cost incurred on the driver or the owners of those vehicles. We have to move away from persons just parking their vehicle by the roadside, especially in the town of St. George's, and areas, as you've mentioned, where it causes obstruction, and areas where it can pose danger to other pedestrians and drivers alike. We have a responsibility and an obligation for road safety, and we will definitely have to do what we have to, and we've already begun that process and continue with that so that we can remove those vehicles that are parked in areas where they shouldn't. But this is an issue that is way bigger than we see it, because there are a lot of areas where we have to tackle and do so in a short and quick manner so that we can see those free roadways so that drivers can traverse to and from their destinations.
Okay, tell you what, folks, this is the conversation. It's 9. I did not realize the time elapsed so quickly. It's 9 minutes away from 8 o'clock. We take a quick commercial break, and then we'll open the line so that you can throw in a question or a concern or make a suggestion to the RGPF. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
1, 2, 3.
Take it outside, guys.
You excited to see your brother?
Billy forgot his keys again.
I'll get it.
Ma'am, we're here this afternoon to inform you that Billy's been involved in a motor vehicle collision and he is sent to pass.
Distracted driving is a deadly decision.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. And as promised, I am opening the line at this time so that you can communicate with the RGPF. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Greetings and greetings to your guests.
Welcome.
We find ourselves in a state of deja vu once more. The same thing repeated every year, Mr. Joseph. I'd like the officer there or the officer there to tell us what changes they've seen over the past, let's say, 5 years, as relates to the matters that they're speaking about. We have chaos on the road because, for one thing, and I want to stress on this, the police, the traffic police of Grenada doesn't even know the difference between the use of the paint that they use for road marking, yellow and white, pavement marking. It seems that they're not clear that where you have a pedestrian crossing, you must have some zigzag lines on either side so that vehicles do not obstruct the view of the users of the pedestrian crossing. We have pedestrian crossings worn, the paint worn out and so on. There are pedestrian crossings in this country without restriction lines. I cross the road from time to time doing my maneuvers, and behind my back, in front of me, passing vehicles. Just imagine that. We are not advancing, brothers and sisters. Why isn't it time that you get together and understand that you have to put measures into place to guarantee results? Changes, advancement, development, for Christ's sake. It's just a view, of course. You don't have to buy what I say, but follow it and you'll see. The humps in the road aren't supposed to be painted in white. No, where they are painted, they ought to be in diagonally painted strips of pavement marked yellow or traffic yellow and black. These are the things that you have to start reading and understand that you're being deficient in your work. Someone has to tell you that, and there I am. Have a nice day for what it's worth, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. One of our WhatsApp contributor says, what does the traffic department have in place to deal with the concrete trucks that continually spew concrete on the road, causing damage to vehicles and pedestrians alike, even causing the roads to be narrowed in some places? That is a cause for concern as well.
Of course, and that contributes to spillage. Because a lot of the concrete trucks, they overload the containers, and we're seeing that while they're traveling along the roads, going up the hills, they spill a lot of the concrete, causing the road surface to be uneven and even making it dangerous for other road users. And we have already engaged some of the companies as it relates to them, drivers or whosoever contributes to those spillage, and we are looking in and see how we can curb those problems, and definitely even if taking actions against the perpetrators in relation to them causing spillage along the nation's road.
Okay, let's entertain this caller and say, good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Innocent, and good morning to you, guests. I have a little suggestion for the Ministry of Education. Innocent, sports bring people together. And I find the Ministry of Sports, the Minister of Education, they should have more enrollment in sports for the children in schools. If the children, not everybody like to play sports, but those who don't like to play should go and support those who like to play. And after sports, they should have the buses to take the children from the playing ground to home, so the bus terminal get light up. The police have less work because the children have less place to idle. That's just my little suggestion. More sports enroll in school, basketball, football, and what. Every child loves different sports. So let us see what we could do to avoid the waste of time, confusion in the bus terminal, and then let me see if we could do that and change some of the way we operate and treat the children.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Someone says, my concern is the pedestrian crossing at the bus terminal. People just come down St. John Street and cross at their own will. Please put a sign to them to stop, look, and wait.
Of course. That has been a problem and continue to be a problem. Therefore, we try to control that area, especially in the busy period where you have an officer direct the traffic. Okay. So then they tell the pedestrians to wait, which they have to wait. If they do not wait when a police is giving them direction, they can be arrested as well for failing to comply.
Okay. The only issue besides there are not a lot of roads wide enough to accommodate sidewalks. My main complaint is that the speed of the vehicles, and then they get too close to the pedestrians. Please have a campaign on how. Please have a campaign to slow them down. Let's accommodate, and this is going to be a final call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. I'm trying to get on to Innocent and his program.
Welcome. You are on the program.
Okay. Good morning.
Hold on. You need to turn down whatsoever apparatus you have in the background. You need to turn it down.
Yeah, I'm away from that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Listen, my problem is the noise of the horns, especially during the night. Is there anything the police can do? Sometimes 2 in the morning, you have the horn, the big trucks coming up the Lover's Lane, and their hands are on the horn from the time they get to the bottom of the road until they reach up. And it wakes people. It's very annoying, especially for the older folk. Is there anything the police can do?
Okay. Thank you. Officer?
As the caller mentioned, it is very annoying to begin with, and also it is an annoyance to because the excessive noise, is it necessary as a driver? And that is what must be taken into consideration. Drivers must be reasonable,
But
especially.
Isn't it a violation? I think in the highway code it says after 6 or certain what time the use of horns and so.
The use of horn is important in any vehicle, and it is for a purpose. But the misuse of that horn can be an annoyance and a nuisance to the public. Because if it is not necessary for you to blow that horn, why do it? Because remember, you have persons, if it's especially night and so on, why? Because also loud noise, to the annoyance under the Road Traffic Act, is an offense, and one can be ticketed and charged for the offense of causing loud noise to the annoyance.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I tell you what, we've exhausted our time. I want to give 732 Saint the opportunity to wrap up. Just throw a few words out there to our audience.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. For the students, we want for you to remember the ABC rule, and that's to avoid bad company.
I like this. I like this. Avoid bad company. ABC. Okay, right. I like this.
We're also appealing to you to be focused. Try to stay away from having to get yourself involved in illegal activities. Try focusing on having dialogues, conversing with persons to resolve issues, and just coming to a compromise. Sometimes someone told me last week while I was doing a blog visit that everyone cannot be a doctor, and that's true. And just the same, everyone may not share the same opinion. So if you and a friend may not agree, then just agree to disagree, because sometimes it can lead to violent acts, and that could pose a threat to individuals and persons within the immediate vicinity. When in doubt, you can also reach out to an adult. If there's someone you'd like to speak to, you can refer to the school teacher. I know that there are some schools, they may have guidance officers. Reach out to them. You can also contact 911 to report anything that may be questionable. The operator there would be able to guide you accordingly. You can also reach us directly at Community Relations Department at 405-5324. That's also our WhatsApp number, and you can keep us informed as to whatever is disturbing you or troubling you, or anything that you see that may be illegal or unfit, and we'll be able to direct and assist in any way possible.
That number again.
And that number again, that's 405-5324.
Corporal Troy Paul.
Yes, road safety is everybody's business, and there's a lot left to be desired, especially the use from pedestrians to drivers to cyclists to persons just using the road network, and more so for school children, as we on this morning. And we want to implore on the parents to teach your children as they leave for school. Let them know that they shouldn't run out into the road. Do not attempt to cross behind parked vehicles or so on. Let's teach them those road safety tips, as we've explained this morning, how to properly cross the road, how to properly use pedestrian crossing. Also, letting them know that the devices, we know that we're in a technological advanced era where some students use phones. If you're crossing, put away the phone if you have to cross the road or use the road network and so on. It is a distraction, and we do not want, especially running out from vehicles to get to the excitement of school children, having to meet their other friends, especially they haven't seen them for a long time. Do not just run out or run across because you may see a friend on the other side of the road and so on. Let us teach them how to properly use pedestrian crossing and how to use the road. As we said, you approach a pedestrian crossing, stop. You look left, you look right, make sure that nothing is coming. You also listen. If nothing is coming, you cross briskly from one side to the other. If something is coming, you indicate to the driver that you want to cross. Make sure that vehicle has come to a complete stop. Then you cross briskly. With all this safety, we guarantee or definitely have a reduction and see the better use of pedestrian crossing and paramount safety for all, both pedestrian and children and adults as well.
All right, I want to say thank you very much to WPC 73 Toussaint, representing the CRO, Community Relations Department.
Yes, CRD.
Right, CRD, rather, and Corporal Troy Paul, representing the Traffic Department. Thank you very much for responding to my request so impromptu, but I thought it was important to have that conversation this morning, and I would like us to, as I told the Superior, I think it's important that we have continued dialogue so that we can continuously sensitize the listening and viewing audience as to some of the do's and don'ts in society with the aim of making society a better place.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for having us as well, Mr. Joseph.
The pleasure is always mine. Folks, this is it for the conversation, this segment. We have the same issue with the BBC, so what I'll do, I have my representative from the Arise Credit Union. We'll have her on right after this. Don't you go anywhere.
This guy was driving way over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a lot over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a little over the speed limit. Look at the damage.
The extended conversation this morning, 12 minutes after 8 o'clock, with me is my Ariza family. It's Josephine Walters, the communications...
whatever you want to call me.
Communication specialist at Ariza.
You say whatever, that's all right.
She's the one that, disseminates all the wonderful things that are happening in Ariza. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am doing fine. How about you?
I'm pretty good, thank God.
Yeah.
As I sat in the lobby, I was listening to the officers, and so there was a very excellent program. We need that.
Of course.
And parents have to take their role more seriously.
Yeah.
It's not just about teachers, but on behalf of Ariza, management, staff, the board, let me just say, wish the school, everyone in the education system, a very healthy and productive school year. And first of all, the school term, because this goes to December, but there's a lot of excitement that's built. Momentum is high when you get out to school in September, but we need to keep it up because we need to be there with and for the children, or else we can see it waning at some point, and that's not so good.
All right.
So just to segue into that, Ariza has been doing our part. We continue to do our part. We celebrate excellence. We celebrate our children generally, but we do celebrate excellence. We think there should be reward for excellence. So to say to the parents of the children who are, first, congratulations. I said it before, but the children who are looking all pretty and fancy in their secondary school, they're shining, going out. There's a special savings plan for them. It's called the Excel Savings Plan. It's a 5-year plan, so it's supposed to take you through from year 1
to year 5. So when graduation time comes, you can just
supposed to be
get
pretty,
into
right?
it. Yeah, I like this.
Yes, it's designed for that, and it's to award excellence. So you have to sustain a certain grade point average, and at the end of the term, when you bring in your report, then we give you $25 at the end of every term. But you do get interest on everything you save. What we have seen happen is that some people open their accounts, but they don't save.
Right.
They don't save. So it's not a case of matching what you have. That's not it. It's to encourage you to be excellent at what you do, hence the name Excel.
Right, yes.
And so you excel, we reward you, but we also pay you interest on the funds that you save. So if you think of it, you're getting a reward and you're getting interest on that reward.
Okay, let me ask this. While I was at the Department of Cooperatives, we had this junior savers thing that the credit union movement used to have. As a credit union, do you visit the schools? And it's, I think it's safe to say that we as a people, we've lost that concept of saving.
Yes.
Not many people. I don't know how to save. But I also think that it's important that we start instilling that in our children at an early age. The importance and the significance of saving.
Yes. I can say for my CEO that he's very big on wealth creation and saving. And so you're going to see Ariza rolling out some programs that have to do with that sort of thing, because you have to be smart fiscally. You have to be able to manage this thing called money. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's a science, probably.
Has to be taught.
So, yes. So he's going to start with the staff. That's something that he does. And it will roll out. It's
and
not going to be.
He's an expert at that.
Yes,
He is. Morning, Mr. Lord, Mr. Mervyn
it's
Lord.
one of
Good
the
morning.
things that he does. So he's not. It's not going to be just for staff. We're bringing it further afield. We also, while school was last week, actually, Miss Lazarus, who is the marketing manager. Hi, Raylene. We visited a couple of schools.
Okay.
They were closed, obviously. But we had to have a chit-chat with the principals in a most informal setting, principals and teachers meetings. And so we met them in a most informal setting. You'll hear more about what comes out of that. But relationship building is important. And so to speak to the saving, yes. Ariza is known for going to the schools. This is how, in fact, a lot of children become Excel members.
Right. Okay.
So we're big on that. But just to say, not every child will excel. So we can't beat up on a child because they're a B student or a C student. And sometimes what brings down your GPA is one subject.
Yeah.
You're not good at math, or you don't care about general knowledge, I'm just saying, or whichever. And so instead of hitting the high 90s or the 80s, you may hit the 70s. And that will disqualify you for the Excel reward.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that parents cannot save. Now, the Excel attracts an interest rate, but you have the education savings plan, which matures every 5 years as well. And that carries our highest interest rate in the credit union. So that tells you where our focus is. So I look at the children, even driving down this morning, prettily dressed in my alma mater. My heart swells when I see my convent girls. I can't help it.
Right.
Because I drove down, went up the hill there to drop off my niece, and went up the hill and just saw them so shining and going to school. And I'm thinking, but there's more. There's more. And so the education savings plan, if parents could only put aside a little something, and all you do is come to us with evidence that the child exists.
Right.
I'm just saying that to make it easier. So maybe one of them has a passport, but everybody has a birth certificate. So you just bring the birth certificate and you save as you can. And at the end of the 5 years, you may need that money, some of it anyway, for books and so on. You may not need it, and if you don't touch it. Because it will help them to be able to secure a loan. Once they're in Ariza, like an Excel student or an ESP Excel holder, and Excel is a non-member account, so they don't have to pay.
Okay.
Right? They're minors. So they're not, let me not say pay, they don't have to invest.
They don't have to buy shares.
They don't have to purchase shares.
Okay.
And they're in the system. And so when we award scholarships, these are the children that we take into consideration, because charity begins at home.
Oh, of course.
We have to take care of our own.
Yeah.
We must.
That's branded
so
for us.
So that's what we do.
Take care of our own.
And you'll see the scholarship program will be the awardees will be announced soon, and obviously given what is due to them. But just to say that we as parents, it is remiss of us to not save on behalf of the children and to not encourage them to save. So here you have the perfect product, because you don't have to purchase shares, you are saving, you're being rewarded for excellence. And for the ESP, you can do them both.
Okay.
Because Excel is on your name, the child's name. The ESP is a sub-account of your account.
Okay.
And that's a 4% interest rate. That's 3.75. That's the highest interest rate.
High.
It's high.
That's high.
But it's high for a reason.
Yeah.
Because you want to encourage children and parents to take education seriously. And at the end of it, I have seen it work so well that parents come in with their book list, or sometimes they come with a quotation from the bookstore, and they're able to withdraw to purchase books.
Right.
Now, I was talking to the grandmother of a 6-year-old. That child's back to school material, because I don't want to limit it to books, pencils, $700. I was in shock.
6 years old, huh?
Yes, I said, well, I'm really old.
Yeah.
Because, out of it.
Yeah.
$700. Tell me something.
Yeah.
And I saw the books. The books much heavier than any bag I have on any given day.
Yeah.
Whether it's gym bag or whatever, but education is different now. We no longer just read NOLA in school, NOLA at play, and do a little math, a little something. No.
It's much deeper than that.
Yes,
now.
it is. And you have all that IT component. You have online. Children can do. My own niece did and passed IT in Form 2.
Right.
Yes. You think you won't get through like that. You still have to pay. You still have to study. And there's the extra that they do online. So, and you must encourage your children while we're at the savings. And so that's one thing. But they can also access little courses online. You see what their natural aptitude is. You see a child who is involved in skills, who has a certain skill set. They like carpentry, they like masonry, whatever. You don't look down on them, you encourage them. And from now, they can start doing little online things to build themselves. Because I won't call her name, but there's someone at Arisa. I can say it's at Arisa. Congratulations again. If she's listening, she would know who she is. Her both children, her twin boys, just attained passes. So they're going to be off to TAMCC. And these boys were working for a while because their dad is into construction. They like construction. They're working and studying.
Right.
What is wrong with that?
Yeah. Parents have to, start taking that parental role, that lead role, and, supporting your child even from childhood.
But you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to. And to say to the parents, we were encouraging you. Yes, Arisa is encouraging you that the children should excel. And you have your education savings plan. But how can they take advantage of that if you sit there and they're on a tablet and you're on the TV or the phone or something? We have to take things seriously. So work with them so that you get the best out of them. Yeah. When they get to that point and they bring in the report, we are happy for them. Yeah. We are excited for them. We're thrilled to be able to give them their reward.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And when the time comes to give them scholarships and so, we're delighted to do that. So it's wonderful to see them back in the school system, to see them back out to school. My heart goes out to the people of Carriacou, but we were given the assurance by the minister that they're working on that, and by maybe the middle of the month,
so 2 weeks
see some
in the
of
first
them.
instance.
Yes, we'll see some of them going out. And so to say that we're supporting you, you have 2 education savings plans, really. Excel being one and the ASB, Education Savings Plan, being another. So these are 2 accounts to support your child's education from Arisa.
And
because it's not automatic. So you're scratching your head at the end of 5 years, but you know now that the 5 years will come.
Yeah, you know
that.
It's going to come.
It's going to come.
So what is important is the preparation for it.
It's going to come. Preparation.
So at the end of the 5 years, when graduation and so forth has to kick in, you have to wonder where getting all that money.
No, you don't. Oops. Yep. And it's there.
Okay.
You have your little nest egg.
Yeah. Good. All right. So, folks, you heard it. All right, get your children into that habit of saving. And as parents, what you do, you initiate the process for them. Open the account and let them know the importance of, hey, I'm giving you $5 a day for lunch or break, how we call it. And it's up to you now to save out of that.
That's what we did.
Yeah, Get back into the culture of saving. Teach your children the culture of saving, because it is important.
It is necessary because we see more spending.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder how parents sustain that. I wouldn't want to single out any of the fast food areas, any of the fast food. But I see them at the fast food.
Yeah.
The fast food
and you
places. I wonder how do you do that after school? It's not a tart or something anymore, it's expensive stuff. But we have to stop competing as well. And I'm not saying don't treat. We have to treat them every once in a while.
But also teach them to save.
But you teach them to save, and I'm saying that at Arisa, so we have the perfect savings plans for everyone.
Okay. So, folks, you heard it. Get your children into the habit of saving by joining the Ariza Credit Union.
The Excel. So that's for the secondary school students. You have your 5 years of Excel.
Okay.
We expect you to excel so that we can give you. And for the ESP, any from zero.
Okay.
So that's from birth.
Right.
And it matures every 5 years.
Okay.
Yes?
All right. Jozo, thank you as always.
Thank you so much.
Give my regards to my Ariza family.
I will.
All right.
I will.
Yeah,
You popped in and didn't say hi to me, did you? A handsome check. You said you were coming in with a very. Well, you told me that. You told me you were coming in with a very handsome check.
Yes.
And
I came with a handsome check on you. You know, I came and put a handsome. Hey, it's Josephine.
And you didn't say. That's what I mean.
I was checking on
No, you didn't check on me because I somebody would have told me.
Yeah.
Somebody would have said something.
All right. Okay. Alpha Fari, good morning as always, and of course the entire management and staff of Ariza.
Yes.
Give them all regards from the GBN.
We will.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Folks, that's
Have
it
a
for the
wonderful
conversation.
day.
As always, we'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.